Hi, in this lesson I'm going to be showing you how to play the bass line for Day Tripper by the Beatles. So sort of like, I wouldn't really say it's sort of like a beginner song, really, but it is good. If you've had a little bit of playing experience, it's one of those songs that if you are kind of at a beginner level, if you can learn this and practice it and get it down, there's nothing really in it, I would say, any techniques or any sort of parts in it that are really too challenging to learn. It's just, getting, because of the tempo and stuff and how many strings are being used for each of the riffs, some people might find that a bit challenging, but it is one that if you can master, it can really take you from that sort of beginner level and boost you up to a sort of intermediate level. So I would say it's like a really kind of essential really baseline for a lot of people to learn, particularly if you're sort of at that kind of level. It's a really good one for doing stuff like that. So I'm going to just do this in like 3 different parts. I'm going to start off this section here, going through the intro and the verse sections. Then obviously we'll have the chorus part and then the solo part as well coming after that. So to start, we've got the intro, which is just this riff played over. So what we're doing there is we have the first note is the low E string being played open. We then have 3rd fret on the low E going up to the 4th fret on the low E. So we come over to the A string and play the 2nd fret on the A string, which is a B note. And then we come over to the D string on the 2nd fret, play a 2nd fret on the D string, so the E note octave, and then the open D string. So far we have this. Then what we have is the 2nd fret on the B string, and then the 4th fret on the D string after that. Then we come back to the 2nd fret on the B string, and then we hammer on open D, play the open D, then hammer on the 2nd fret. So far slowly, this is what it should sound like. So that's the only really riff that's just repeated a few times for the intro. Once the vocals start in the verse, what we have is that riff played again twice for the first 2 lines of the lyrics, I think. And then, so we have this again. And then we come over and we play the same riff, so we're playing the same fret numbers, but we're starting it on the A string. So we're basically just taking this this riff, and then changing the key of it up a 4th once the vocal melody changes slightly. So we have the open A string, 3rd fret A string, 4th fret A string, then 2nd fret D string, and then 2nd fret of the G string, then open G. So far we have this. And then same idea that we had with the E riff, we're coming to the 2nd fret of the D string, then the 4th fret of the G, back to the 2nd fret of the D string, and then open G, hammering on at the 2nd fret. So that part solo should sound like this. Right, so that verse part should sound altogether like this. And then that's all really there is to the verse. After that is when we go into the chorus, which is probably the more complex part because we're moving all across the neck. So we'll check that out in the next section. Cool. Alright, so yeah, totally right. Okay. So in this next section, I'm going to be taking you through the chorus parts. With this, we've got a few different riff ideas that are played in different positions. So we're starting off in sort of like the 9th fret area, moving all the way down to the 2nd fret area. But I'll just break it down just bit by bit and show you each part. So the chorus, I'm not going to bother playing it through the whole way to start with. I'll just go through each section bit by bit and then play it through a couple of times at the end to give you an idea of how it should sound. So the first riff we have sounds like this. we're starting off here on the A string at the 9th fret, so we're starting off on an F sharp note. On the A string we've got the 9th fret, and then we're coming to the D string at the 8th fret. Then the pinky's going to come up and grab the 11th fret of the D string. That's so far. Then we come to the G string at the 9th fret. We're going to be playing that note, then dropping down a semitone to the 8th fret on that same string. And then the last note of that riff we're going to play before repeating it is the 11th fret of the G, so we're hitting our octave of the F sharp note. So to go over that again, 9th fret A, 8th fret D, 11th fret D, 9th fret G, 8th fret G, then 11th fret G. The rhythm for that as well, what we're playing is we have obviously 4 beats in the bar, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So first note's played on beat 1, it lasts for a full beat. 8th fret is played for a full beat. Then 11th fret on beat 3, and then on the and of 3 is when we hit the 9th fret of the G. Beat 4, on beat 4 we're hitting the 8th fret of that same string. And then on the and of 4 we're coming to the F sharp octave note at the 11th fret. So with the timing played, should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Then we come down to the next riff. So we're now playing over an A chord, I believe. So it's the same sort of pattern of frets, it's the same idea and same rhythm. We're just sort of, again, taking this riff and just sort of transposing it to start on a different key note. So we have. So here we're starting off on E string, at the 5th fret. We have the 4th fret on the A string. Then we come to the 7th fret on the A string. Then we move down to the D, so we hit the 5th fret on the D string. 4th fret on the D string, drop down a semitone, and then we hit the octave A, excuse me, on the 7th fret of the D string. I forgot to mention as well, that the first riff that's played for the F sharp, that bit there is played 4 times altogether. We come to this, then we come to this riff, so we've got 5th fret A, 5th fret E, 4th fret A, 7th fret A, 5th string D, 4th string D, 7th string D. Now this whole riff idea that we've just played, we play that once through and then we drop all these notes down a semitone. So we're now starting on the G sharp note at the 4th fret of the low E string. So we have. So all those notes that you've just played there, all just move down a semitone. And again, this riff is also played in the same sort of rhythmic idea. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Then we come to, after that we have the 4th fret on the E string, 3rd fret on the A, 6th fret on the A, 4th on the D, 3rd on the D, and then 6th on the D. So far all together, I'll just play it through. We have this. So far so good, it's not too hard. The hardest thing about this section I would say is getting, obviously when you come down here you've got the sort of stretches between the index finger and the pinky. And this is the part that's really actually quite good for building up your hand dexterity as well. And since we're doing it over a few strings, it's good for getting your hand used to playing these stretches on the different thicknesses of the different strings. Okay, so after that part, we have this next section which sounds like this. So we're starting here on the A, this first pattern, we're starting on the A string at the 4th fret, so we have our C sharp note. Then we're coming to the 3rd fret of the D string, then 6th fret of the D string played twice, then back to the note we started on, which is the 4th fret on the A string, C sharp. And the rhythm for that is slightly different to the riffs we've just played. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then we drop down this whole pattern, similar to what we've done with these riffs, except we're moving it down 2 frets this time. So we have, so there we've got 2nd fret on the A string, played with the middle finger. We're going up to 1st fret on the D string, played with the index. Then Pinky's going to come up and grab the 4th fret on the D string, and again that note is played twice before returning to the starting note. So we have, so that part together. There we go. And then I think, yeah, that's all the chorus actually. Before we then come into the next verse, we have like a little breakdown where I think it's just the guitar that plays the riff, and then that's when the rest of the band comes in and joins. Then before, I think it's played twice through altogether before the next verse comes in, and then all the verses are just the exact same structure as what I've shown you in the first part of this lesson. So that chorus part altogether, with the timing, sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 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 2, 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then we start the next part before leading into the verse. Okay, so that's just covered the verse parts and the chorus parts. The only part left to do is the solo. So I'll be covering that in the next section. It's quite an easy part, but there is a few sort of rhythmic changes in it that might be a little bit challenging. But again, it's good for building up a sense of like different timings, different rhythms that you can use for bass lines. So we'll cover that in the next part. Cool, so now for this last part of the lesson, I'm going to be showing you just the solo section. The solo section, as far as I know, it's only played with just one note, which is the note B. So you could play this at the 7th fret of the low E string, or you could also find the octave, which is on the D string at the 9th fret. The only difference is, sort of with this part, is we've got varying rhythms that are being played as the solo builds up. So you'll probably hear when the solo starts, we have the sort of main riff idea, similar, except I think it starts on B. So we basically are just taking this riff and sort of just changing the key of it really, just to suit this different section. So I'm just going to play through the solo. The way, what happens is it builds up, like I said, rhythmically. So it starts off like, so what we're essentially doing is playing every second beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we come to a part where we have 1 and, so we're playing 2 notes per beat there. So we have 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then after the riff, sort of riff idea has been played by the guitar, the lead guitar, we come into a sort of section where it's like a kind of sort of bluesy couple of licks that are played, and that's the point where we start playing. So we're playing on the beat, every beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, this is something like you can experiment with. You don't need to play each rhythm the exact way that I'm showing you here. There's every chance that when they've done the original recording, it was probably maybe played differently. I'm not sure, but again, I just want to use this sort of idea here more just to give you an idea of different rhythms that you can maybe experiment with, take ideas from, and then use in your own playing. So yes, so what do we have? So we had 1, 2, 3. So playing every second beat. And then we have 1 and, so 2 notes per beat, except we're missing out every on. Yeah, so the first beat and the third beat we're playing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And then we can change it to have playing the note on the beat, just 1 note per beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you do want to do though at the end, I would say, once it starts to build up, you hear there's the vocal harmonies start to come in, it starts to get a bit louder, the drums pick up as well. You obviously want to try and follow this with the bass line and try and help reinforce it if you're playing this in a band scenario. So what you would want to do is now play 2 notes per beat every beat. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play sort of from the start and just sort of give you a rough idea of how I would maybe go about playing it. Like I said as well, feel free to experiment with the different rhythms here as well. So yeah, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So yeah, that's basically really all there is to the solo part really. The only sort of different changing parts is, like I said, the rhythms and time of the beat. So I would say, yeah, just experiment with that and see what you can come up with your own ideas. It's a good sort of starting point for experimenting because obviously the role of the bass guitar is partially as a rhythm instrument. It works along with the drums to help set the groove. So you obviously want to take into account the dynamics as well. So in terms of how busy it is, so if you're maybe playing just on one beat, letting it ring, or if you're playing every second beat or something like that. And then obviously building it up with different rhythms as well. So yeah, so that brings me to the end of the lesson. I hope you enjoyed that and able to get something from that. Like I said, this is a good one for beginners who have maybe gotten the basics down, but are maybe looking for something to maybe sort of boost them up to that next level. So if you are one of the people in that case who's watching this, then I hope it's worked for you. Yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll be posting more lessons like this up where I'm going to be focusing more on maybe like the theory aspects about rhythm and timing and how to do dynamics. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on any new videos or uploads that are coming out. Thanks for watching again.